By now, you should have heard of the Big Three League. If you haven't, then here's a very brief description. The Big Three is a basketball league that was started by hip-hop legend Ice Cube and film producer Jeff Quatinetz. And it is a 3-on-3 league that is played by former professional players from the NBA and from international leagues. They play on a half court to 50, win by 2. Currently, they have 12 teams at the moment, and they recently just had their best season viewership-wise and ticket sales-wise. It's also a very young league that will go on into its 7th season in 2024. But before we get in the video, let me just tell you, I hate to beg for likes, but I don't hate it enough not to beg for likes. So please like this video for your boy. Sub up to, we are this close to 100,000. Let's go. Most of us that are a certain age has been watching basketball, specifically the NBA, and have seen our favorite players retire, whether we watched their whole career or caught the prime of their career and watched until they eventually retired. Now afterwards, we realize how young they still are compared to a normal 9-to-5 career working citizen. So we start to wonder, what will they do next, and if they can still hoop. In most cases, not all but most, towards the end of their professional career, we can start to see that they can no longer compete at a high level in the NBA or the best international leagues. But then we see videos of them hooping at the local gym and think, damn, they can still hoop. I wish I could watch them hoop competitively again. Maybe not those exact words, but you get what I'm saying. So that's where the Big Three comes in. Players like Joe Johnson, Allen Iverson, Michael Beasley, Nick Young, Jason Richardson, Jason Williams, aka White Chocolate, and others can be seen hooping again with other players that we recognize and compete at a high level relative to their current skill level. This gives us a nostalgia boost, and we might feel like we actually like this new league. This serves as an entry point to the Big Three viewership. This also damn near ensures that basketball fans may be willing to give this new league a chance because they have seen so many names that they recognize on the court. It makes the fans become invested from the very start of the first game. If the league let players in that we don't know the names of, most people wouldn't even tune in and give it a chance for real. We all know people from the local parks and gyms that can really get busy on the court. We may think that they can compete with these retired professional players, but I don't think other people will stick around long enough to see the talent that we witnessed firsthand. Using former players is what helped the Big Three stick immediately, and I felt like it was the perfect decision to make that a requirement to play, even though there are hoopers out there that may have never just gotten a chance at any point in their life to showcase their talent to the world. I mean, it sucks, but that's just what it is. I can think of a few from my small town off the top of my head right now, and I know you can too. But in this case, it doesn't even matter. It sucks that they still won't get that chance, but I'm grateful that I get to see the players that I watched hooping as a kid still hoop today. Great decision, Cube. The Big Three is also a traveling league. No team has a home base, and the league moves as one from city to city to play in front of fans. At one point in time, this would be something that would ensure the league would fail immediately, but this isn't that time. Today, most major cities are already spoken for in every sport professionally. The NBA is the most popular basketball league in the entire world, and 98% of all hoopers who want to play professionally dream to play in the NBA. The NBA has also been around long enough to have multiple generations align themselves with a certain team. Either a team that plays in their home state or home city, a team that their parents or grandparents or older siblings love, or like me, a team that they first watched play as a kid. The Chicago Bulls are my favorite team because I caught the tail end of Jordan Prime. They were always on TV. I'm from Indiana though. Allen Iverson is my favorite player all the time, so I rooted for him over every team, including the Bulls when he was playing. Probably information that you didn't need or didn't want, but I said it anyways. The point of all that is to show that we start to show loyalty for a certain team within sports, and that's just what it is going forward. When a new league starts, we are already dismissive of having another favorite team, so we don't choose one even though we know it's a separate league. That means people won't feel compelled to show up in person for games because they don't feel the sense of loyalty and pride for that team that now call their city home. I think that's one of the problems with professional spring league football. They fail to gain a lot of traction consistently with ticket sales. The fun in watching the Big Three is the fact that when you go to watch games, you do that. Watch the games. You get to see more than just two teams playing. You aren't locked into one team always being the same one like if teams were tied to a specific city. Another great part of watching the Big Three is the fact that because most people aren't tied to a specific team, they can just enjoy the games. You are tied to the entire league more so than just the team in the league. Not having home arenas for the teams was an important part in why the Big Three has been able to not only stick around, but continue to grow every year. It's an entire event. A bonus to not having ties to home arenas is that it keeps the cost down when it comes to renting arenas because you can pay for one arena to host multiple games instead of paying multiple arenas at once. Great decision, Cube. Again, the NBA is the most popular basketball league. They are also one of the most popular leagues altogether when compared to all sports. They are at the point that you cannot compare in any real way when it comes to drawing in fans to the stadium or viewers on television. So if you want to survive, it wouldn't be wise to directly compete with the NBA if you're a basketball league. The NBA has games going on every day during the regular season, and they have playoffs. So you shouldn't just play ball and expect to survive during their season. The Big Three made a smart decision and decided to have their season play out during the NBA's off-season. Now they don't have to try and steal viewers or ticket sales from the NBA, which would be damn near impossible. They also can fill the void left by the NBA for people who still want to see big-name players play basketball in the summer. I mean, we have small tournaments like the Drew League that have few NBA players participate, but it's not nationally televised the same way the Big Three is. The NBA offseason also happens to be during the summer, which usually means kids don't have school when weather is nice. Except here in Texas, where the sun feels like it's touching your skin. So now it's looking like an event that the whole family can enjoy, which is big in the summer months. Summer also puts people in a better mood, and people usually just start to look for things to do with the family or with their friends. And what better to do than to go see the players that you watched in the NBA or players that you want your kids to see play that they would have missed out on before the Big Three existed due to your favorite players retiring before your kids were old enough to really grasp who they were and how great they were. The Big Three not competing directly with the NBA helped itself not be thought of as an off-brand league or a second-rate league. It's its own league. The style in which they play is different. It's 3-on-3 versus 5-on-5. It is half court versus full court. It has multiple games on the same place on the same day versus one game per city per night. The downside is that the game might not fall in the city that you are in or near, but you can always turn on the TV and see the games that way. The rules even have differences, like them having 4-point shots in the game. Something that I think the NBA players need because these dudes are shooting from deep. They also have a rule that states hand checking is allowed, like the NBA used to have, but no longer allows. And since it's first to 50 win by 2 and not based on time, it eliminates overtime. It's still professional basketball and a lot of NBA rules apply, but they also have rules that differ in ways that resemble how we see basketball being played during pickup games at your local gym or parks, which makes the game seem so much more close to the average person who has never come close to playing professionally. I'll call them street ball rules, and here's another one to go along with the hand checking rule. You have to clear the ball after a rebound that touched the rim, or as most people call it, taking the ball back. That doesn't apply to air balls or steals. The combination of traditional rules fused with street ball rules and the season being placed outside of the NBA season and playoffs is perfect for the Big Three, and they are capitalizing on it perfectly. But if they tried to emulate the NBA game style and play during the NBA season, I think they would have folded after one season or two if they were lucky. Not because the idea of the Big Three is bad, or that using former professional NBA players is a bad idea, because it isn't. Those are great ideas, but it would be because there just wasn't enough time to be given to them from a basketball fan due to the attachment people have with the NBA. The Big Three is growing and thriving, but it's still in its infancy stage, so I think there will be more and more improvements that we will see season to season. It's new and exciting, but I don't think it will overtake the NBA. I don't think the league realistically thinks that it will do that, but it is serving a need that basketball fans didn't know that they needed. And it is also perfect for former players that still want to compete at a high level in front of fans without going through the long NBA season. Anyways, these are 3 reasons why I think the Big Three is growing and thriving in my eyes. Question is, have you watched any games or been to any games? Are you interested in the league, and do you plan on giving it a chance? Let me know in the comment section. Y'all be great. I'm out.